Hey guys, so let's talk about 901, the nervous system. Now the nervous system is exceptionally well organized system that is responsible for all the coordination and activities that's performed both inside and outside of the body. Now every single square inch of the body is basically composed of fine fibers known as nerves. There are over 100 billion nerve cells. Now, these nerve cells are also known as neurons. Okay, remember that for your test. Now, these neurons are in the body. Okay, now when you're looking at neurology is the scientific study of the structure and the function and the pathology of the nervous system. Okay, so let's talk about the principal components of the nervous system. So the principal components of the nervous system are going to be the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves themselves, okay? Now the central nervous system, you probably remember this from biology as being the CNS, or anatomy and physiology if you took about the CNS. The central nervous system consists of the brain, the spinal cord, the spinal nerves, and the cranial nerves. So it's the brain, the spinal cord, the spinal nerves, and the cranial nerves. Now, the brain is the largest and the most complex nerve tissue in the body. Okay, it starts with the brain. Then you go to the spinal cord. The spinal cord is the portion of the central nervous system that originates in the brain and extends downward to the lower extremities of trunks and is protected by the spinal column. Okay, now the neurons. Let's talk about neurons. Neurons, or nerve cells, is the primary structure and structural unit of the nervous system. Okay, so this is a lot of terminology that you guys need to learn. It is in your Google Classroom. The info sheet is there, and you'll also have your theory on it. And you will have a test on this on Thursday, okay? So just remember, the brain is the largest and the most complex nerve tissue. And then you have the spinal cord, which is protected by the spinal column and extends from the brain all the way down to lower extremities. And then you have neurons. Neurons are nerve cells and the primary structural unit of the nervous system. Now, you're not going to have to learn all the nerves in the body because we would have to spend literally weeks on this and the muscles in order for you to learn them, okay? So, but you will have to learn these and the ones I give you. Okay, whatever I say today is what's going to be on your test. So take notes, look in your info sheets, do your theory, you'll be fine. Now, let's talk about dendrites. Dendrites are tree-like branches. They branch off, sort of like if you've ever seen the branches that go into the lungs. Well, dendrites are like that. They're tree-like branching of nerve fibers extending from the nerve cell that receives impulse from other neurons. And then the axon, which sends impulse away from the cell body to other neurons, glands, and muscles. So dendrites are the ones that extending from the nerve cells that they receive impulse from other neurons, and axon sends impulses away from the cell body. Now, you also have sensory afferent nerves. Sensory, or in other words, afferent or afferent nerves. These carry the impulses or messages from the sense organs to the brain, where sensation of touch, cold, heat, sight, hearing, taste, smell, pain, pressure are experienced. So remember, dendrites are the ones that to receive impulses from neurons. The axon sends them, and the sensory nerves is what carries them, okay? So let's talk about a few of the nerves of the body. So a few of the nerves of the body are going to be the nasal nerve. That's pretty obvious. Nasal nerve. So they are the basically that it affects the lower points of the nose around in here. Okay, then zygomatic. And zygomatic is going to be along here, which is going to be the cheek muscle. So that is there. Then buccal, think of bugle. Got to blow your buccal for the mouth. So that's the mouth nerves. And then cervical nerves, of course, is pretty self-evident. This is the cervical area here. When you go below that, it's thoracic, and below that is lower lumbar. Okay, so when you're talking about cervical nerves, they affect the sides of the neck and the platysma muscle. Cervical nerves originate in the spinal cord, and their branch supplies the muscles and the scalp at the back of the head and the neck. Okay, so cervical is going to be here at the side, to the back, into the cervical column. Then you have digital nerves. You should know this from your bones, digitalis. Okay, so digital branches supplies the fingers, and then you have radial. And remember radial? Got a thumbs up, radial nerve, radial pulse, radial bone, radius there. So radial nerves, which branches the thumb, side of the arm, and back to the hand. Okay, so those are the only nerves that you really need to know for your test per se. There are more that you may want to brush up on, but those are the ones you need to know for the test. And I'm not saying your state board is not going to have other nerves on there. They may. So there's a whole big section of nerves that you can learn in there in your chapter, which will be chapter 6. That's in the Milady book, where you can find all this stuff. So again, do your theory. Learn these nerves for the test I'm going to give you, which will be on, let's see, tomorrow's Tuesday, so probably Wednesday or Thursday, okay? So and I'll let you know the day ahead. All right, guys, so that was concludes 901, the nervous system, and good luck with that.